So I don't really like being on camera, but I have got to end this debate because I am so freaking sick of hearing this. This is an onion. This is a tutorial on how to cut an onion so that you don't activate the, whatever the gas is called, that makes you cry. These are roots. If there's any singular thing you need to learn in this tutorial, do not cut these roots. First thing people do is they cut off both ends. The instant you cut these, in fact, just pulling them off, that activates it. Don't cut the roots. These are the roots. And then this part starts to form the bulb. Now, what I do whenever I'm doing it is I just tear off the paper on the outside. And again, we're not, this onion's a little, got a spot on it, doesn't hurt anything. This right here, you can peel all the paper you want. And when you peel it, you could pull it down and around. I'll show you in just a minute. And you could peel it off that way. You pull it off, but do not cut or peel the roots. So I'll show you what I mean. And I'm purposely using a dull knife here. And the reason I'm using a dull, crappy knife is because one of the first things that a lot of tutorials tell you is have a sharp knife. Now, yes, as a general rule, you should have a sharp knife. That's vitally important. But the reason I'm using a dull knife is to prove to you that a dull knife, my trash can's right here, that a dull knife works just as well. Okay, so there's, I wish I could hand it to you. Anyway, there's the onion. All right, so I had to pick up a couple pieces off the floor. I'm gonna wash my hands quick. All right. Now, where did I put my towel? It's right over here. Okay, so I'm going to finish cutting this onion for you real quick. Okay, so now the way that I do it to keep it where it will not ever be a problem, I have a few different cutting techniques. If I'm just needing a big chunk of it, and I know that's what I need, I can cut it right here, just a big, and you could just keep the other part aside. You could even just set it down on a plate face down. Believe it or not, you can put it in your fridge or leave it out. Nobody can freaking smell it. Anyway, but what I like to do for chopping, now I normally do this with a sharp knife, and again, you really want to do this with a sharp knife, but I'm going to go ahead and do this just with this knife, just to show you it can be done. So I cut like so. Just do this number. Okay, and then we're going to do it again. And you can do this as close or as far apart as you want. And we're cutting into the center of it, but not all the way. You don't want to cut it all the way through. You're keeping these roots intact. So I'm going to do it again. And like I said, I'm doing this with a dull knife on purpose just to show you it can be done. Okay. Oh, I lost a piece there. Now, there's several ways. You could just shave right down, and and you can make these as big as small as you want. Another technique that I use pretty often is just to do this. And then this way, you just hold the knife and you don't have to worry about it. You're keeping your fingers well out of the way. This is a good way to teach kids how to do it. Anyway, yeah, no problems. Now, does it smell like an onion? Yes. Are you getting the tears and the crying and all that? No, you're not. Now, the key is keep this intact. These roots right here, keep them intact. As soon as you cut those roots off, you're done. It's going to make the whole house smell like onions, and you're going to be crying for 15 minutes until it's done. Anyway, I hope this ends the debate. I'm sure it won't. I'm sure that there will be all kinds of people having issues. But anyway, that is how to cut an onion without crying.